Have you ever wondered how much one can spend on virtual attention? $100? $1,000? What about $2 million? Yes, you heard that right. That's exactly how much one man transferred to an Onlyfans model, believing there was something real between them. And the scariest part is, he is far from the only one. Today, I'll show you the dark side of this industry that models don't mention. This is a tale of real people who sold their cars, homes, and even went into debt to the mafia, trying to buy what cannot be purchased. True feelings. Mark, a 38-year-old successful IT professional from Silicon Valley, earning $220,000 a year. In May 21st, he made a fatal mistake. He subscribed to the model Emily Ray. It all started with an innocent $50 a month for a basic subscription. But 2 months later, Mark was paying $200 for 15 minutes of private chat. The model expertly played on his feelings, called him special, and promised exclusive content for being a top donor. She created the illusion of a special relationship. In no time, Mark joined a private Telegram group with other leading sponsors, where they posted a monthly leaderboard of donations. The thrill and desire to be first drove him to increase his spending to $10,000 or even $15,000 a month. He sold his Tesla for $85,000, and all of it was spent on personalized photos with his name. Next, he sold his promotional portfolio for $400,000, and the big sale was his house for $1 to $2 million. His last funds were sent for a virtual date that ultimately didn't take place because of technical problems. The reality was harsh. Emily was simultaneously involved in special relationships with 20 other sponsors, and all her chats were handled by a hired manager. An urgent operation for his mother, costing $78,000, turned out to be a scam, and when the money ran out, Mark was simply blocked. Currently, Emily is among the top content creators, earning $500,000 monthly. Mark works the night shift at McDonald's, resides in a trailer park, and is receiving therapy for his gambling addiction. His story became a case study in the psychology of digital relationships. Next is the story of Antonio, a 29-year-old bartender from Naples who fell into debt with criminals and lost everything for the attention of an OnlyFans streamer. In 2022, Antonio stumbled upon Alina, an 18-year-old Ukrainian model. She streamed guitar sessions and had heartfelt chats. At first, he just subscribed for $10 a month, but quickly got hooked. Alina used a classic tactic. In private messages, she said he was her favorite. "I'd meet you if you were a top sponsor," she'd write, then flood him with screenshots of others sending huge sums and expensive gifts. Within 6 months, Antonio sold his motorcycle and his father's gold watch. He borrowed $30,000 from friends with signed loan agreements, then opened 3 credit cards totaling $120,000, but even that wasn't enough. In February 2023, Alina launched a contest. Whoever sent the most that week would get a personal meeting. Antonio, sure he could repay the money, turned to local loan sharks linked to the mafia. The loan terms were brutal, $500,000 for 3 months at 30% monthly interest. His parents' apartment was the collateral. He sent Alina $450,000 in a week, the rest went to interest. She thanked him publicly in her stories, calling him her most generous fan. But, as you might guess, the meeting never happened. First, Alina got sick, then left for a tour. Meanwhile, Antonio's debt grew to $800,000 with interest. And of course, debt collectors were soon knocking on his parents' door. Now Antonio is in a witness protection program. His parents sold their apartment to cover part of the debt. Alina, still streaming. Her bio proudly says, "Top 1% OnlyFans. Thanks to my kings." And the final story is about 45-year-old Jason from Florida, who fell into a deep depression after losing his wife to breast cancer, but had $600,000 in his pocket from the insurance payout. In February 2022, while scrolling through social media in search of comfort and emotional support, he came across an ad from 22-year-old model Kate, who called herself a spiritual guide and therapist. Her OnlyFans profile promised healing through intimacy and grief therapy for those mourning a loved one. What started as an attempt to cope with loss quickly turned into a financial disaster. The first payment, $300 for a 1-hour video chat where Kate wore a flowing white robe over delicate lingerie, felt to Jason like a justified therapy expense, a way to begin healing. But within a month, his spending had already hit $15,000 for special audio meditations, featuring erotic elements and personal counseling sessions tailored to grief. His wife's insurance payout began to vanish at an alarming rate. A shocking $50,000 went toward an anniversary program, in which Kate studied old photos and videos of Jason's late wife and mimicked her voice, gestures, and mannerisms so he could feel her presence again. $120,000 went towards gifts, including Patek Philippe watches that the model immediately resold, and $90,000 on fake charity marathons against cancer. The turning point came when Kate carelessly leaked her messages with friends, boasting about profiting from his grief. She happily declared that this idiot would pay for her house in Miami. Further investigation revealed arrangements between the model and her agent for a targeted search for vulnerable widowers. Despite attempts to sue, Kate avoided responsibility. Her chats were considered paid services by mutual agreement. Jason, however, ended up in a psychiatric clinic with a diagnosis of pathological attachment, and his family lost not only a beloved person, but all their savings.